Hello. Hello, Karsten. Cymra hash of a knock. I make creation, gavelshing bio, and show. Facebook, agus, YouTube. Ha big an time delay on Facebook. So, have a delay, gamaleshkol or some shin. I guess, be me a doll at Ashert, I guess, Jada Torso at Facebook, because if it came chak, gavel doll, gavelshing a doll, mach, bio, but Facebook could chak. I guess I'm in the office, gavel but so, Fàilte de bhula nach go cuidir folk son or bheadh nach. Welcome everybody to our book launch for Lasting Gold, or the bheadh, Lasting Gold, new Nova Scotia Gaelic Poetry. And I'm very happy to be in the possession of the books right now. We've just received them a couple days ago. Copies are on their way to the authors. And Gàidhlig, and it's now for sale on the Braden Press website. If you go to bradenpress.com/shop, and then just scroll down to in the alphabet O, and you'll see the book there on our website. That shop works for people in Canada. If you're in the US or elsewhere, it is live on Amazon now, as of today. And in about 3 to 5 days, it'll be live on, it'll be available at bookshop.org, where you can order it through your independent local bookshop. And I think they get a cut. The website gets cut. We get cut. Everybody's happy. We support local business. So whatever your preferred way to order the book is, hopefully we'll have that available for you now or very shortly. And and root the hacking and noch she leabhar readings are what we have tonight. Readings agus leabhar agus óring, readings and songs from some of the authors who have their poetry in the book. So the book has 11 authors, either in Nova Scotia or with strong Nova Scotian connections, and their poetry is there. And we have 4 of those authors who are going to be virtually with us tonight through videos that they've very kindly recorded for us of their work and made available. So we are super excited about that. And I'm coming to you live from the Braden Press home office, which we've recently redone. And I'm super excited to have all of our books in here as well. It's a fitting background for this new book of Nova Scotian Gaelic poetry. So I think I could see the numbers of people watching are going up. So I think we're safe to start. I'm just actually going to take a moment to check on my phone and make sure that it's live streaming on Facebook too, because that can always be a bit of a challenge. And it's, of course, it's tricky to see if it's actually there while I'm running it, but we will do our best. I wish I could talk to you guys back and forth. While I'm checking on that, I will just tell you that we have another upcoming, tell me it's not. Okay. We have another upcoming book launch this Sunday for Out of the Twilight, which is Angus MacLeod's English language translation of his new graphic novel, àigh. So that is pretty fabulous too. So we hope you'll join us for that. We will not be having that book launch here. It will be more of an interactive one, and we'll have that most likely through Zoom. And we'll make a link available through Eventbrite for people who sign up. So, and we're going to have, for that one, we'll be having an AMA, that's Ask Me Anything, with the author, and people can submit questions ahead of time for that. So that will be a lot of fun. We have that to look forward to on Sunday, May 29th. And as I said already, here right now, May 25th, Wednesday, we are having the launch for O Bheadh, Lasting Gold. Before I have our first author on to read her poem, one of her poems in Gaelic and English, I will tell you that I'll tell you a little bit about the title of this book. So it's based on a phrase from Alan the Ridge MacDonald's poetry. The Ridge MacDonalds emigrated from Briosgaidean in Scotland to, first they went to Pictou and then they went on to Mabou in Cape Breton. And they're known for the first site that they, the site that they started their homestead on, which is called the Ridge. And then later the family went to Antigonish County. And so, but Alan the Ridge was born in Scotland in the late 18th century and then lived in Mabou on the Ridge. And he was a poet, and he composed a poem called Alba Nuadh in praise of Nova Scotia. And this poem was part of a flyting. So he was like a rap battle, right? So he was answering back. Somebody had been dissing Nova Scotia and praising Scotland. So he answered back, dissing Scotland, mainly the landlords who pushed people off the land, and praising Nova Scotia. And so he had a verse in there that was, and hang on just a second, I forgot the book. It's on my other desk. The book was of Alan the Ridge's poetry, was edited by Effie Rankin and published by CBU Press. And we're very lucky to have a copy of it here. And in that poem, one of the verses, praising Nova Scotia, he sings, and I don't know, I will try to sing it, but you will soon know why I am not a professional singer and why I stick to books. But one of the verses, excuse me, says, and I'll give you the English translation first. It says, "You were wise and did not err, neither was your opinion vain. Coming to the land of fine men, or fine people, kindly, gentle, and civil, here you will find lasting gold, unbounded right to land." Of course, we know now it wasn't theirs. "All you would want upon your farm of property and cattle." And this was what people wanted, right? When they came to Nova Scotia, when they came to New Scotland. And it goes, the tune goes a little bit like this. Stúrain glís nach deach medach. Sorry, that was a bit low. Stúrain glís nach deach medach. Sgrìobhadair bheil faoin. Chin do gúi taisbeanadh. Fadam fire water fàthast order fedanser. Gàidhlig buanachadh mud bheile agus sgrìobhadair. I'm Dilly Gamalishko. I have allergies today. But that's the bit that we took inspiration for. And I think that you will all agree that the true lasting gold, the true and feadh a bheadis sé na dòighean na sgrìobhadair a hagin an san neor. So let's, I just said, I think you'll all agree the true lasting gold is the people, and especially the writers that are appearing in this book. So let's have our first, our first author's reading, and it is going to be Joyce MacDonald, cruinneachadh. And actually, Cruinneachadh also did the editing. She was co-editor on the book with me, which was a lot of fun. And she has 3 poems appearing in the book as well. And so she's going to read to us her poem, which is titled Dòighean, the River People. So take it away, Joyce. And so we're going to have one video for the Gaelic poem and then another video for the English translation. Here we go.
Dòighean Ar wafan a bhálachug the one in aishk. Déanach buachan frosha, sgrìobhadair teirech, roias na scatan garibh. Sannaghainat, fan an anam francach, Gasparo. Ianlas na haine, a charnag, cia pe curach. Na visprech, no bratan sa ripa, well, sin brackish na níoscaran. Seo opar nach ga Gianach a söner, tuskag an ripa. And Jane na hóparach, Bírlach an canal a bhát, stúne cainam an gcóirsteir, tíist, the trip, dáil, the box of Tupperware wán cookéan na wife, tíist. The river people, our hands speckled with fish scales, making slimy rainbows in spring when the alewives run. We know them by their French name, Gasparo. The wealth of the river piled up on our rickety little wharf. If there's a trout or salmon in the trap, oh well, that's the fisherman's breakfast. This is work that can't be done alone, emptying the trap. After the work, there will be cinnamon rolls at the table and kind people around it. Have two, he said once. The fine man with a Tupperware box full of cookies in his hand. Have two.
Technical difficulties, Mhaireas. Mór an tein healcha fashion bria, an Gaelic agus an Bíorla. Agus anished. Thank you very much, Joyce. That was beautiful in Gaelic and in English. And now, sorry for the technical difficulties there. We have Caroline Bennett, and Caroline is not only a poet but also a singer, a Gaelic singer, million, billion, jillion times better than me. So it's just an absolute delight and transporting to listen to Caroline's songs. And Caroline has very kindly made a video of one of her songs available to us to share with you for this launch. And so it appears in the book as a poem, but it has this added dimension of the music and Caroline's gorgeous voice. And I'm so happy to share this with you tonight. The song is called Fàilte, Connected. And it's kind of, I think, was inspired by the pandemic and the feelings of connection and disconnection and, trying to deal with that and think through that. And the first verse in English is, "We are connected through poetry and music from the beginning of eternity and ancestors past, across ages and places, crofts and cattle folds, in the tongue of my mother and her language full of life. Oh, listen to the ancient voices from the mist, and they will give their knowledge from meadow and bay. So we shall receive our connection with understanding of their sadness, of their strength, solace, and love." Let's listen to Caroline singing that and the other three verses of this lovely poem.
An
Mór Caroline. Bhaisintí bria. Thank you very much, Caroline. That was just beautiful. And if you'd like to listen to more of Caroline's song poems, then please follow her on YouTube as well. She has a YouTube channel and a Facebook page, and you can find her as Caroline Bennett Music. And we'll put the link in the comments below the live stream after we're done. So, Caroline also has 3 other poems in this collection as well. I should say song poems, because they all have choruses and melodies and just lovely. So, Tapalévaríist. So our next poet from the collection is also a song poet. Our next poem from the collection for the launch is also a song poem. It's actually a lullaby for babies and children, and it is by Wayne McIntyre, Wayne is in Halifax and with Cape Breton roots, just like every other poet in the collection. Cape Breton roots or Nova Scotia roots or strong Nova Scotia connections. So in Wayne's case, it's Cape Breton roots. And he is a musician and is also singing. So he has 2 songs in this collection. And he's going to sing one of them. As I said, it's a lullaby. Sorry, I get a little flustered because it's the live stream. But we're going to bring Wayne's video in now, and it was recorded just this afternoon in a beautiful, sunny Halifax. We also recorded him actually at our pop-up book sale and pop-up Gàidhlig on Sunday, and wouldn't you know it, there was a whole bunch of cars going by, and they were really noisy. So anyway, Wayne very kindly redid that today, and it's just so nice. So please enjoy the virtual sunshine of Halifax and the virtual garden and Wayne's singing and guitar playing. And the name of Wayne's lullaby, his poem is dheug, Kenzie's Lullaby. Morning, Wayne. Nach Roshan Scaniel, Kujok. Chobria. Agus smór or my guitar, Kujok. Have Wayne, Ryan Wayne arrangements. Agus Wayne, agus Clarion Green. Sean Brosgaidean Danella at Clo Vraden Kujok. A mesk she Gamalishkal and no race chocolate Lottie McKinnigan. Thank you, Wayne. That was just wonderful. And the poem, the lullaby is beautiful, and the guitar playing is so wonderful too. Wayne does his own arrangements, and he's played and created arrangements for some other Braden Press projects too, including an audiobook by Lewis McKinnon of his poetry. And Lewis McKinnon also has some poems in this collection. So, Míle Taing, Wayne. So then our last poem for the night is going to be by Brian James McLeod, Brian Seamus McLeod. Ha Brian sauna Alba Nuadh, sauna ciplet in ha Brian, agus ha fudach, sin yelin lewish and thraste anish jarnavag. Brian is, of course, from Nova Scotia, from Cape Breton, but he's actually living in Stornoway right now and doing research for his PhD at University of Edinburgh. So, but his words have been sent across to us and incorporated into the book, and we appreciate that as well. And Brian has also sent us a video. So he also has 4 poems in this collection. And the one that he's read for us on video is cruinneachadh, I saw the spirit descend through the glen. And this is a poem which, well, he'll tell you about a little bit more about the poem in his intro, but it actually did win an award, at St. Francis Xavier University's Gaelic Poetry competition. And everyone who writes Gaelic poetry should enter this competition. I think that the deadline just passed for this year, but you might want to check with them to be sure. The deadline comes once a year in May for Gaelic month. So livestream agus cruinneachadh a video eadar-theangachaidhean. So we'll put Brian's video in now.
Peace bàrdachd. Fesca ciún ó seo an steorna bhag. Gur sinna peace bàrdachd leis an bhuanach mí dúis Alba Nuadh chun beccan blianachan. Sin siad le head cruinneachadh bhí tearach sa ceann. I saw the spirit descend to the glen. Nach leor vor an ceol, na hín ang ma cheol, fargéig an áhain dáit in a caille. Go tuil an fáil a go cúri a gú, a lénas go tlúr, rí anal an cruúban. Go mis sé dhéad a gútar an údig, go sír gur lín sin na caiiciil am húran. A bhór an corm, héad ach a lacham. Sa bheic an siúran gur fur an yimmers rí dóil atáin na cain a bacham. Is déig í téicheach, go chiasci van lúchast. O cum le bhuile, ó nach míle sin dhéirin gan feadh tasci ba bhád mían. Mullach de béine sí dóil an trúin, sí léim na lúpan a lehet is linne. Sí lientin va dhéad a frís a rímanam, sí dóil na wasar a feadh ma chúsin. A seim lunneach a nach leam, ó takam fáin a lúi nach gaun, a sealam daineach na daimh a bhaun, ó fech an fálas a grás a bhaun. Cruinneachadh bhí tearach sa gleann, mar gahan lúpach luaneach lanir. Gàidhlig mé níana is an brain me chaim, go bí bhuad an gúil nach rómí na múna. Agus a bheile, English translation as well. I saw the spirit descend to the glen. How glorious the music which hangs like a mist on the beautiful coloured branches of the forest. How I love the sweet scented voice which clings closely to the tree's breath. And 'tis I would ascend the face of the heights, seeking the ages which my eyes cannot see. So little chance is left to me. No great surprise, but my efforts are in vain, chasing the memory which I held most precious after it had nimbly escaped from my palace. But never mind. How sweet the truth, that a treasure of highest desire may be found on the mountain summit, flowing down with the stream, leaping in loops down precipices and pools, cleaving to my soul like a precious legacy, spreading like a flame through my veins. Or let me sing a song on the barren peak, or let me raise a tune to a host of hymns, or let me gaze into the depths of friendship, or let me see the shade of the grace that once was. For I saw the spirit descend to the glen like curving, wandering, glowing rays. I felt the proof within my breast. Love is eternal. I was never alone. And this was the piece of bàrdachd which won for me first prize in the inaugural Sister Margaret MacDonnell Memorial Prize for New Gaelic Poetry. That was in 2019, a few short months before I departed to begin my PhD work in the Department of Celtic and Scottish Studies at the University of Edinburgh. That research now since over a year and a half relocated out to the Western Isles here on the Isle of Lewis. Àigh leis fáilte bheanachadh livestream.
Martin Leigh Hain of Riang, Tapal at the Reist, or Sunshine. That was Brian James McLeod coming to us from Stornoway and the Isle of Lewis, but with, as I said, with roots in Cape Breton. And that poem, as he said, was the winning poem for the very first poetry competition at St. Francis Xavier University. So that was lovely. And more than Tangarisht or Sunshine Aon. I just want to mention again. So that's all the readings that we have for tonight. So I just want to mention again the book itself. So it's 70 pages. And as I said, we've got 11 authors. And that includes 10 adults and 1 teen. And we're very proud of all of them and very grateful to them for submitting their poetry for publication in the book. And each author has between 1 and 4 poems in the book. And we think that they just showcase a great diversity of Gaelic voices that have not only come out of Nova Scotia, but that have been trained and taught by Nova Scotians. And this is a real, I think, a testament to the strength of the language and the culture here in the province. And so, and the book also features an introduction by Lewis McKinnon, who is a poet, of course, in Nova Scotia, and also actually was the poet laureate, you could say, the bard of the Maud in Scotland a few years back. He's the only Nova Scotian to have been named, to have been crowned, actually. I don't think they let him keep the crown, but it was pretty cool. They crowned him bard of the Maud a few years back. So we're very proud of that, and very proud to also have some of his poems in the book and the foreword, or did I say introduction? The foreword by Lewis McKinnon as well. Agus gab leis golar son bhí adul arástarút etar a Gaelic agus a bheirla sin mar a hae. So mother horse Mhaireas ha leabhar seo riain a larach línaking an Canada agus ounce the dúchan an ella ha riain Amazon agus bí riain a hóla leine an sa hóla bhuaile bookshop.org agus leich and count at their 3 agus coig lion. So it'll be available soon online in all the other bookstores besides Amazon. It is available now on Amazon, and in Canada you can order it from our website. So tap the leabhar or Sunshine Aon nach for a whole time zone on in Canada, agus na Sachin, agus an Alba Nuadh, agus has sin dagus go bísin gur feichin a réist àigh fesca. So son curvok ek a novel graphic ek Mhaireas McLeod on a beerle and throp show Out of the Twilight. So for more information on our next book launch, which is going to be on Sunday, May 29th at 3 p.m. Atlantic, please check our Facebook page. It is going to be through Zoom, and it's going to be an AMA and Ask Me Anything for Angus MacLeod. I plan to ask him what vegetables he's planting in his garden this year, particularly what varieties of tomatoes, because he actually is pretty good at that. And he's always got really cool heirloom vegetables, along with his tales of horror and fantasy inspired by 1950s comic books and by Lovecraftian horror. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and a lot of insight, hopefully, into Angus's process and his twisted mind, as I'm sure he'd agree. So, eadar-theangachaidhean agus àigh. We're going to end the live stream now, and we will leave this up on our Facebook and on our YouTube. So if you know anybody who missed it, and I know a few folks who had to miss it, I'm sorry you did. But obviously, if you're hearing me now, you're watching the replay, which we will keep up on our Facebook and our YouTube. Okay, eadar-theangachaidhean agus àigh.